It is time for Stugotz to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
Weekend observations brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories, available for delivery. Dan.
It doesn't work with any
I
other
need a
name.
Dan.
Yeah, you need a Dan.
I do. Get me a Dan.
You want to try it with Mike? Let's see how wrong it feels.
You get Danny.
Oh, yeah. Mike.
I don't like it.
I need a Dan.
Yeah.
Get Danny.
Yeah.
You mind if he sits there?
No, let's get Sunt Dan.
I'll feel better.
Get
Do I have to
Sunt Dan.
start?
Yeah.
Stan.
I just saw some guy run by, so I think they're working on it.
Dan, it started Saturday with Vikings Colts. Continued Saturday night with Dolphins Bills. On Sunday, it was Jacksonville Dallas, Chiefs Texans, and Raiders Patriots. Football, it was good to see you. But Dan, make no mistake about it. Football is back. You had a run, Mike. You did. A football run that I got into. I'm just killing time because I'm waiting for a Danny.
The Stunt Dan.
Oh, there he is. Should I start again? No need.
I mean, these have been getting longer
Just
and
do the
longer.
Dan.
Just do the Dan part.
Danny!
Everything
It started Saturday with Vikings Colts, Danny.
Everything feels right again.
It continued Saturday night with Dolphin Bills, Danny. On Sunday, it was Jacksonville Dallas, Chiefs Texans, and Raiders Patriots. Football. It was good to see you. But Danny, make no mistake about it. Football is back. Speaking of back, with a big win to get them to 5-8, the Saints are very much back in the mix. The Red Rifle. Can you believe the Saints are in the mix? Every team. Danny, can you believe that? Vikings Colts. Best Saturday 1 p.m. game of all time. Not certain how it's possible, but Saturday 1 p.m. Kirk is better than Sunday 1 p.m. Kirk. It's amazing. Hey, Florida Gators, you agreed to play in a bowl game. Have some professional pride and show up ready to play next time. Jesus.
Scored 3 unanswered, though.
Yeah.
You see that field goal that they hit with 30 seconds left to avoid the shutout?
Yeah.
Massive.
They're also not professional.
You're gambling again.
A lot of positive momentum headed
they are
into
professionals.
early
I beg
signing
to
day.
differ. That's the joke. They are professionals now.
They got more money than us.
Yeah. How are you saying they're not pros? They're pros. They're being paid.
They're not employed by the University of Florida.
Independent contractors.
They're getting paid, Whitty. Show up.
Professional football Stugotz.
Yeah. The Vikings are the TCU of the NFL. Deion Sanders. Do it in the Celebration Bowl. Coach Prime. Seriously. And win there first. Back-to-back losses in that game.
Yeah. At least Billy Napier had those 15 additional practices, though. That's great.
Get out of here.
I'm glad. No. Mario Cristobal surely would have preferred to prepare for the Wasabi Fenway Bowl than nail a top 3 recruiting class. I'm sure he's really happy with how that
The
worked
Wasabi
out.
Fenway Bowl was awesome. All right, there were 4
I agree.
turnovers in
Yes.
the first half.
Yep.
You'd much rather have been preparing for the Bearcats.
Glad you brought it up, Mike. Can't wait for Miami to win 4 games next season and for Mario Cristobal to tell us these kids aren't his kind of kids. Sketchy knows sketchy, and there is something sketchy about Mario Cristobal. Hey, coach, just so we're clear, I got my eye on you. He's sketchy. Danny, you agree, right? Yeah. If you were wondering whether or not I had a lot of money on the Florida Gators, the answer is yes. Some guy Swanson got $177 million from the Cubs. Danny, you know what the S in Swanson stands for? Some guy. You know what the D in Dansby stands for? Damn, he's good looking.
He is.
He is.
That's a beautiful couple that just got married.
He's a good looking guy.
He is. How are you just hearing about Dansby Swanson?
I have no idea. Is it Swanson or Swanson?
Yeah. And why did you bet Florida? They had like 1 million guys out.
Is it Swanson? I had no idea. Listen,
I think it's Samsonite.
bowl game betting, very dangerous game. You have no idea who's showing up, who's not showing
At the
up.
very least, Google if the starting quarterback is playing.
Is it
Okay.
Dansby Swanson?
I think it's Swanson.
Swinson?
It's
Swanson.
It's
Swami?
Dansby
Swami?
Swanson.
By the
he
way,
was
How
the
do you
number
not
one.
know
He was
this?
the number one
don't
overall
care.
pick on a team that won the World Series.
Samsonite.
He's some guy.
I was
Married
way
to Mal
off.
Pugh.
He is some guy. I mean, $177 million for that. It's embarrassing. These contracts are embarrassing. I'm sorry. I mean, Nemo from the Mets got one. He has 16 homers. It's his
Nimmo.
career
It's
best.
Brandon Nimmo.
Nemo,
He's
tomato,
on the
tomato.
team you watch.
Yeah.
Mets. You're a Mets fan.
Finding Nemo. Or Nemo. Anyway, Dansby. Good looking guy. Kareem Benzema. Did I say that right? Retires from international soccer. What was your favorite memory from Kareem Benzema's international career?
I would say the blackmail sex tape scandal.
You say so. When 30-point leads evaporate, Matt Ryan is the only one on the planet who experiences deja vu. Matty Ice, the Myrtle Beach Bowl on a Monday afternoon. That's what the holidays are all about.
Who do we like in that one?
I have no idea. Who's playing?
Is that Bowling Green?
Oh, New Mexico
Ooh, let me
State.
look.
No, I don't think so. I think that's next Monday.
It's Marshall and Yukon.
Oh, Marshall, the Thundering
I
Herd.
thought that game was today.
I took
I'm
UConn.
disappointed.
I took UConn too.
Yeah,
I took
Jim Mora and
Marshall.
them
Marshall's
boys.
got a good defense.
they do.
Marshall,
Yeah.
12.5-point favorites.
They have a great defense.
But who's showing up? Do we know?
What do you mean?
Is the entire defense showing up? I mean, you just told me to look up the quarterbacks at the very least.
You're right. I'm Googling Marshall opt-outs right now. If they're a
Thank you.
12-point favorite, I'm assuming that their best players are starting. If you look at like the Tulane USC spread,
Yeah,
it tells you everything you need to know.
The only person I know who's shown up for this game is Jim Mora Jr.
he always shows up. Dan or Danny, over the weekend, there was a half-hour stretch where I didn't say a single word to my wife. We were both sitting on the couch, and for reasons that should be obvious, we were watching the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl presented by Stifel. Washington State, who trailed, scored to make it a 16-6 game against Fresno State. I turned to my wife and said, "Don't you dare think for a second that this one is over," and turned back to watch the game. For the next several minutes, I felt a look of confusion and sadness out of the corner of my eye. I did.
Wazoo had a lot of players out too.
They did?
Yeah.
God, I had them plus 6.5.
Have you seen the mascot for that bowl game?
No,
The Jimmy Camel?
no.
Yeah. Last year,
Really?
yeah, the Jimmy Camel was seen throwing up outside of the stadium. This year, I don't think so. I don't think he was throwing up.
It
but-
appears that both quarterbacks for the Myrtle Beach Bowl are out for various reasons. So that cancels out, I think.
Jesus.
You're going to have to kill Jim Mora.
Similar to the Fenway Bowl this weekend.
How about the defense? Like Marshall's defense? Are they all showing up?
Yeah. Except
Jim-
for a
Against
DM
a
who's in the
backup
portal.
quarterback? Taking the Thundering Herd.
Has Jim Mora Jr. showed
Yeah.
up for an interview on either Stupidity or God Bless Football?
No.
Not yet.
All right, I like his chances.
Okay.
What if he's already dead and that's why he lives at a haunted house?
Good question. Fresno
I'm going to put it on the poll.
proceeded to score a touchdown 2 minutes later. And I told Abby it was over.
Yeah.
But I didn't look at her. I'll never look at her again. Sadness, Mike. Danny. Peeked in on a little college basketball over the week. Noticed Drew Timme was back for his 12th season at Gonzaga. The Zags. ESPN.com story. Why Lionel Messi is the best male athlete of all time. Hey, ESPN.com. Ever heard of Michael Jordan? Here's an idea. Have Michael Jordan and Lionel Messi play each other in a series of athletic competitions and tell me who's a better athlete. How would that go?
Right now?
Yeah, he's kind of old now.
Give Jordan a little time, and I'm telling you right now, he'd be better than Messi at soccer.
Speaking of athletes coming back, did you see Bo Nix has more eligibility?
Yeah.
He's coming back.
How?
Coming
Yeah.
back.
Oregon also has another player that was just awarded his 9th season of
He's a
eligibility.
tight end.
Tight end.
He had like 3 injury seasons in a row.
Yeah, between he and Bo Nix, like their average age has to be weighted.
The guy is, I think, as old as I am. I think he's
Weighted.
27.
You're very young, though.
That is true.
Better, who took the $250,000 buyout on a $7 bet rather than seeing if France will win the World Cup and winning $1 million. Heady play.
How'd he play?
Give him credit.
I didn't hedge.
You got to hedge that, though.
I didn't hedge.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to hedge with France. No hedge. Look how still this hand is.
I just think you forgot.
No, I couldn't reach
It
my
happens.
I couldn't reach my
No,
bookie.
You forget to hedge. You could. You're still going with the bookie.
I couldn't reach.
Do you meet him in an alley somewhere?
It's my buddy Cowboy.
So jealous. Wish I had a bookie. Lionel Messi, congratulations on finally doing it at the World Cup. Now do it again. Frank Gore Jr. ran for a record 329 yards in a single game. It would take his dad 6 games and 110 carries to rack up that many yards. A weekly tradition, unlike any other. The Anthony Davis second half ankle injury that will keep him out for several weeks.
That's a bummer. He was playing well.
He was. Well, he always is playing well. That's never the issue.
He wasn't, but he was
the
playing
injury is
really-
always the issue.
He was really playing well.
I know he was. They won last night, though, without him. Robert Saleh, you're keeping receipts, and so am I. You and your horrible in-game coaching have cost me 3 games. You owe me. Danny, you know what the R in Robert Saleh stands for? Receipts. Did anyone ask Robert Saleh if he let Zach Wilson down? Did anyone ask the Jets defense if they let Zach Wilson down? Danny, you know what the L in Lovey Smith stands for? You were close. Lovable loser. Lovable loser. Yep. You just said loser. Houston Texans. I know yesterday hurt, but with time and perspective, you'll realize what an amazing loss that was for your franchise. Well done. The Chicago Bears are giving a clinic on how to execute a great bad season. You know what Trevor Lawrence has been doing over the last 2 weeks? Danny? Having a coming out party.
Oh.
Latavius Murray. You never know where he's going to pop up.
They also have Marlon Mack, too.
No
What?
way.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That is such a great shout though. Like you just wait for Andrew Catalan to tell you where it's because it's never a game that Nance is doing. It's Andrew Catalan. Tell me where Latavius
So,
Murray is.
I was
And then he pops up with 130 yards.
I
right?
was napping at that point on my couch, and I had a beer fart so loud that it woke me up. I came to, and there was the red pants of the Cardinals and the orange tops of the Broncos, and I just like audibly said, no, and I went back to sleep. But while I was saying no, I saw Marlon Mack scampering into the end zone. I was like, that's where he is.
He's gonna have one catch for a touchdown and be picked up by fantasy owners in 15% of ESPN leagues for the rest of his life.
Someone's going to win a championship because they used the waiver on Marlon Mack.
How the hell are the Steelers 6-8?
Mike Tomlin, man.
I mean, seriously. They're in playoff contention. Speaking of hell, Art Briles. Danny, Those are the weekend observations.